As you can see, so these are the ones that I've been working on, and even since, and this was about like a week or two ago once I did these. So as you can see, I haven't really been like filling up to it, and I've been under the weather, so I'm trying to get my energy back and just recuperate and stuff like that and trying to get better. And if you have any tips for sinus infection and the colds and stuff like that, leave it in the comments down below. But yeah, so these are the ones that I was testing with out of my main products and whatnot. And obviously I'm going to reuse these jars for my self for testing purposes. And this one was out of my main collection, and I wanted to test for quality purposes and whatnot, since it's been like a few weeks to months after making my initial product and whatnot. So now I have 4 of these and 4 of my other scent left. These aren't tested, these were actual candles in my line, but I just really don't like this scent. Even though I'm sure other people probably do, I just really don't like this scent. So the fact that I don't like it, I'm not proud of it, and I don't want to sell it. So what I've been thinking about doing, what I'm going to do is just go ahead and clean all of this out, and then either use these for testing like these. So I have like, I think 9 test jars, or I can reuse it for product, because you guys can reuse your stuff for testing if you want to. You can reuse them for selling, because it's still a good jar. You just got to make sure you clean it out properly, and that's good. The only reason why I am skeptical about reusing them to sell is the fact that the cold throw is now on the cap. So I'm sure I can put in some alcohol, or actually do it like this and just simply take it off, and then just let it like air out, and wash it maybe and stuff like that. I'm just like really anxious. So in my mind, I'm always thinking, oh, what if there's a little, it's still damp, even though it could be 2 weeks later, so it should be dry. I'm thinking, oh, what if it's still damp? Candles are flammable. Like, what if there's still water or alcohol in it? I'm just anxious like that. So, yeah. The only thing is that why I wouldn't want to reuse them is just because just because of the smell on the lids, but there's ways around that. So I'll see what I think of by them. I still have a good amount of jars. I just don't want to waste these, but also they will go to testing purposes, but at the same time I still test one at a time, since I don't have a a preferred wax right now, and I really don't have a preferred wick.
Annoying part is that just like with these over here, right there, I still have to heat gun these and wipe them down. So that's gonna be tedious, and I need some alcohol, in which I do not have any alcohol at the moment. But then I got some, but I don't have enough to be doing all of that. Plus just dealing with that, and then like when I heat gun, these jars get hot. That heat gun, I know I got some heat on it, so I don't even feel like dealing with that. I wasn't even gonna do these because I'm just not getting over like a sinus infection and a cold. I decided, since, you know, like this is like legit maybe the second day after I started feeling better. So I'm like, you know what, let me go ahead and just use this energy and go ahead and do these. Plus I want to go ahead and finish this video and get it out. And I didn't want to just have, you know, just the beginning to be about, you know, doing this. Even though I know it's not much to it, it's not any candle making, but I didn't want the beginning just to be the only thing where you see anything about candles and then the rest of it talking. So I just decided to throw a little extra of this in there. I hope y'all are enjoying it, because this is surely tiresome and exhausting. And y'all know what's annoying? Like, people on Instagram, like, I don't know, like one of my posts had went viral again, right? Y'all, thank God, I'm doing straight on Instagram, honestly.
like it hasn't resulted in any sales yet, in which I think it's a blessing from God, because I am not really confident in my wig choice. So, you know, that turns out to be a blessing. But I've been doing them on Instagram. But yeah, so one of my posts had went viral again on Instagram, and it was about me cleaning my jars. And people always say this, and I don't know, it gets on my nerves so much. I don't know why, but it does. Because it's like, you can clearly see like how my jars are shaped, right? Like, they cave in, right? So people will legit tell me over and over again and just say it like, oh, like they're doing me a favor, they just know so much. Like how they say it, I don't know, they say it, they try to say like I'm stupid or something. I don't know, like that. They just say it like they're just so experienced and stuff like that. And I don't know, I don't like it. I take it the wrong way. Especially when so many people keep saying the same thing, right? Because they will legit tell me to freeze it and it'll pop out. And like, I know people do that. That is a thing, right? But if I freeze, because one, honestly, it's not so bad to get out of here. I get what they're trying to say about like, you know, you don't have to do all this hard work, you know, because it's not like I'm scraping out soy wax, you know. It's not like it's just, I gotta bang it across the thing or I can't use it at all. Which is why it was such a blessing to be using such a soft wax, because I can always just reuse my jars and clean them out. But they always say to freeze it and it'll pop right on out. And y'all, that is so annoying to me, because if you know basic shapes, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, because, you know, I haven't tested it, but in my mind, it doesn't make sense. Because, you know, if you know basic shapes, right, they say it's gonna pop right on out, right? How is it, if this, because my width of my jar, right, the base is basically 4 inches. The top, I measured it yesterday, is 3, right? If this is 4 inches, right, and this is 3 inches, if I freeze it, how am I gonna just turn it upside down and pop it out? How does that make sense? If this is legit, like imagine if I didn't have good glass adhesion, right? Imagine if you saw wet spots and then like my wax actually moved around, in which I can actually make, you know, when I'm twisting, I can make my wax twist around the jar if I want to in a circle, right? So yeah, obviously I could do that, right? But obviously, as y'all seen when we clean this out, I legit have to, I just found the tactic of digging in on the sides, right? I just found that tactic. These sides are preventing it from just popping out. Yeah, I do know that, right? Like imagine if my stuff had my candles had bad glass adhesion, meaning that the wax is just moving around the jar and the wax isn't secure to the sides of the jar. You just see like a massive wet spot. Basically, that's what a wet spot is. It's just where the wax has contracted from the jar and it's not actually adhering to the jar, so it doesn't move, right? The blessing with my candle is that I have a few wet spots, but not much. But the blessing with my candle is that even if I did have that problem, which God forbid, and thank God I don't have that, say if it did move around, it won't pop out. It literally can't. This is almost like a lock. Like you like if you put your hand, if your hand was small enough, you put it in there and you open up your hand, you cannot pull it out. You would have to close them back and then pull it out, right? It would not come out. This is not a straight-sided jar. I don't know why people keep telling me that. And then I will come in and be like, if you look at the shape of my jar, I said polite, I cannot just pop it out. And then they will legit come back to me and still be saying it like I'm just an idiot. And I'm like, obviously, you just seen me doing this and my tactic, my technique. And of course, I'm not choosing to make this the most difficult way to do it. I'm not choosing to do that. I'm doing it because I have to. Now this next method, most people don't recommend it. Some people do, but most people just say to freeze it, right? Which makes sense, but not for my jar. Now the other one I can see when people are like, just put it in some hot water on the stove and it should melt or whatever. Now I like that one. I just choose how to do that because I don't know, I just feel like these jars are pretty thin, they're fragile, and I also just don't want to wait for this to melt completely down. I don't know, I just choose how to do that, honestly, because I would legit have to get it out, and this jar already gets hot just with a heat gun, so I'm just kind of scared to do that, and I don't know, I've been reluctant to try that method, but it honestly may speed this process up. It may be a lot quicker. So, you know, I don't argue with that one. But the one that you tell me to freeze it, obviously that won't work. Like, maybe, you know, you want me to freeze it so I can, you know, stab it and it'll come out in pieces. But no one says that. They legit just say, oh, it'll pop right out. It'll slide right out. It will not. It just won't. Y'all see this? Like, you're looking at my jar, and that is not the first time I've gotten that. Like, on my videos in the past, they used to tell me that. And I'm like, y'all got to look. Y'all got to pay attention. I'm sorry. Well, at least I'm done. Thank God. This one was annoying because the size. Like, I got this side I almost completely like in one scoop. But then this one is just like over here. So I have to heat gun these. You know what? You know what I may do though? I may do that little the hot water method. Oh yeah, I may I was gonna say I may use the method of putting it on the stove and then like letting the rest of this melt down, so just wipe it. But I think what I can do is just pour hot water in here inside the glass. Now see, now that will make sense. Like, I'm not just the person who doesn't take a not criticism, but advice. Like, I'm all for advice. Like, I'm just not starting. If y'all could tell me the easier way to do something, because I for sure would tell somebody the easier way to do something, because you can clearly see they're doing it wrong. But when it comes to something like this, you can't tell me what I gotta do with my jar, because most people don't even know these jars exist probably. Like like what? I don't know. I just thought that was fun and I want to tell y'all that. But now I just got to remove this label. And honestly, I was going to remove these labels. I know, like I was telling y'all earlier in this vlog, but I think I cut it out because I didn't like the quality of the video and whatnot. And I was just trying to, you know, record something, but I didn't like the quality. So I just edited it out. But I am going to be changing my labels. So I've said this several of times that I've been thinking about my label choices and whatnot, and I am not fully satisfied with these. I wasn't even when I got them, but at the same time, I think if anything, for my first design choice for these, you know, just my first trial and error, I think I did decent. And honestly, I get a lot of compliments on this label, and I get a lot of questions on this label. So every time someone asks me, I don't even gatekeep. I legit just I tag Avery every single time, because, you know, we want the sponsorships, we want partnerships, we want free products in the future, baby. So if we use the product and you see me using the product, so obviously I have a relationship with this brand, I like their products and stuff like that. You know, why not want to, you know, partner with them in the future? I don't really like the labels, not necessarily the labels itself, but the way I designed it. So, you know, so when people ask me, and it's crazy that people even like, I guess they just want a label company. But it's because it was crazy to me about how many people asked about my labels and whatnot, and like where I got them printed, and then I put them myself. It was crazy because I didn't really like my label design. So I'm like, why does these people like this? Like, I was embarrassed posting even my the photos that I took for my candle collection, and because I use those as my real covers, right, to keep it consistent and just like to have that bright lighting, right? So I use that, and then like it's embarrassing for me because I know these labels could be so much better, and I actually have an idea that I'm gonna use like a textured label with a supplier that I found, because I was looking into vinyl labels. As y'all know, I've spoken about vinyl labels before in previous videos, right? I was speaking about vinyl labels, and I wanted a bronze color vinyl label. But then, you know, when I was talking to somebody about it and I got a price point on it and whatnot, I started, you know, backtracking, and like, because like with bronze it's so finicky, which is why I wanted to change my lids from bronze to rose gold. And, you know, because it's easier to source, you know, like, because I want to sell Wick trimmer stuff in the future, like sets and stuff like that in the future. And I want to have, you know, tins, you know, that are a smaller size that are the offset or like of my my branding, which is like whatever the color is of my lid, you know, and it's easier to source and find people who sell rose gold products. So I was gonna go with that, and then I backtracked because I said, do I really like rose gold? It's okay, but not for my brand. So I backtracked and I went back to bronze. So now it's been pretty hard for me to find bronze tins. I found like Counter Science sells some type of bronze tins or whatever, because they don't want to sell my lid option. So I don't know, I don't really like it's okay, but I don't really too much like the design of the tin, but it's not bad. It's not something that I was looking for. And then like, because it actually looks nice, but like once you zoom in on the picture, it's kind of like the lid is what I want the whole jar to be, like a straight pattern, but the bottom seems to be textured, and I thought that was weird. But yeah, and also candle is very expensive. So yeah, but thank God recently in this new coming year around like December, they actually are using or have 30% off shipping for I think UPS or whatever, so which is really good, because what made their stuff, not only the prices were kind of expensive, but the shipping was really expensive too, but people just deal with it. So yeah, but they decreased their shipping or whatever, so it should be a bit more bearable. And you know, there's probably some bronze tins from like Alibaba, but it was kind of hard for me to source them, honestly, like because they don't really call it bronze, they call it like brown. I don't know, but then it's like, I don't know if they actually mean bronze or do they legit just mean the color brown. So they may have them, but they don't advertise them because it's not, I'm sure it's not a popular color, you know, like gold and silver and rose gold is. That's gonna be plastered everywhere, not bronze. But yeah, so going back to the label, I was trying to see, because I was trying to envision it on my jar, and then I was like, I don't know if I kind of like that design on my jars or not. And also I was trying to see, because it's like, what if that color doesn't match my lids, because bronze, like there's red bronze, other type of bronze, like it's just different colors, you know. So I didn't want the label to be a whole different color from my lid, in which even with the labels that I am looking for, well, that I'm gonna get now, I'm trying to see, because I still feel like they may be a bit lighter, they might not be the exact color of those lids, but I'm still gonna try them out, and I think they're pretty cute, and I think they're different. So I'm gonna be trying out some basically textured labels with like bronze embossing, whatever it's called, I don't know, but yeah. Oh yeah, but what I was trying to say was even though like, well, because I'm still like not in the ideal set of followers for people to want to like sponsor or work with me just yet, even though they'll send you free stuff and stuff like that. So that's what I'm, you know, that's what I'm working on for the most part right now. You know, getting on the list for PR packages. You know, like with fragrance oil companies, when they send you their new sample pack for the new season or whatever. So I want to get on their radar and stuff like that. So the fact that an overwhelmingly amount of people have been like legit asking me about my labels and stuff like that. Every time they ask me, you know what I do? At Avery. Oh, I got it from at Avery, Avery.com. Like, you don't, like, since I am a bit smaller than like then maybe the average person they would want to work with or whatever, you have to show them that, oh, you know, people, you got a little influence. Like, your followers may not be there, but your reach is. So like, my reach is legit almost at 300K, because I've been posting consistently like the past like few months, and that has been paying off for me. So I have been doing really good with my views on my reels or whatever. So, and I've been getting a lot of followers. So I have about 1,300. So I'm so proud of myself, y'all. So, you know, at 1K, then we're gonna be at 5, then we're gonna be at 10. Like, once they start rolling, they start rolling in. So I'm proud of myself, and I thank God, you know, that I just made the progress that I made. But yeah, so basically they gonna see my name in their mentions. Like, they gonna see me mentioning them every time somebody asks. Like, oh, she just tagged us 10 times in a row today. That meant 10 people asked, and she told 10 people about y'all. You know what I mean? So yeah, we trying to work with people over here. So anytime they ask me where I get something from, this, unless I legit want to keep certain information to myself, like say with my new labels, most likely I'm not gonna be telling anybody like where I get I say I got it from Alibaba, but not like my vendor and stuff like that. But I will be selling, doing a vendor list and stuff like that too, because I've been trying to get into the virtual, the digital world and whatnot of virtual products that, you know, have no cost of goods. So that's another source of income. So not only physical products, but digital products. You know, trying to get my income for affiliate marketing or whatever, with Amazon, and I want a storefront from there too, but I guess they still don't like the amount of followers I have, so, but thank God I at least got the other one, so y'all can, click the link in the description to see what I use, and I can get paid for recommending or just telling y'all the legit things that I am using and whatnot. So, which thank you guys again for, using some of my recommendations and just even clicking the links just to look at them. So, thank you. But yeah, so even with that, so like that's another sort of income I'm trying to get straight. Oh yeah, and then we're gonna get into like courses, even though it's kind of like digital, but I want to do something like not an actual academy, but legit like video courses. I want to sell like a video course, and then I guess it's still kind of digital, but I will legit call it those separate things. So I call it maybe a subscription service, and then another source will be at that point sponsorships and partnerships and stuff like that. So yeah, we trying to build that up, so we're gonna get there. I've already got an affiliate, but we're trying to grow that. I got physical products, but we're trying to build that, and then I also have digital products that I forgot to mention it to y'all in this video. So I am selling a candle making ebook for 2 waxes for IGI 4627 and for this MP 117 wax. So just because I couldn't get the wick right doesn't mean I don't know what I'm talking about, because some people be like, oh, you don't even use this wax anymore, but I have worked with it and I've gotten it to work. I just don't like the way it performs, and that's because it's in my jar. So the thing that's going to make a difference for other people, because other people may use that wax and have no problems at all, just like with every other wax. Everybody has their own specific wax that they want to use and that they find works, because even certain wax, like a lot of people love IGI 6006, which is a wax that I'm going to be trying out later and hopefully adding into my business and whatnot. So I'm gonna be trying that wax, but some people say, oh, it didn't give me good hot throw, when they say legit that hot throw is one of the best ones that's out there compared to Pro Blend 600. So, and a lot of people prefer Pro Blend 600 when that one has more soy content and the cold throw is better. The hot throw is weaker. With IGI 6006, the cold throw is a bit weaker, but if you have lids like I do, it doesn't matter, because the cold throw is in the jar, you can just smell the lid and stuff like that, right? And since it has a higher paraffin content, I think it's around 70% paraffin, it then becomes like a better thrower, for hot throw. So yeah, so some people don't like that wax, even though a lot of people do. So the thing what makes it different is because I think it does have a good hot throw. I think because like with Black Top Barn, he mentions a lot of the time that that wax is difficult to wick. So most people aren't going to like the hot throw of the wax if they can't even get the wicking down, because the wicking is what's going to burn the fuel, which is the fragrance off of your candle. So you're gonna think it has no hot throw when you don't even have the right wick to burn the fuel correctly for you to smell it, for it to emit into the air. So and even though I didn't hone down exactly on the best wick series, that doesn't mean I don't know the wax, because I've used the wax and obviously it works for me to have chosen it for my final product. I just want to hone in on a different wick series. So yeah, it's just the wicks that I chose. And also he said that the thing with that wax is that it's hard to wick. It's kind of tricky to wick. So, but we gonna try with that or whatnot. I'm gonna be trying Premier 700 wick. So I hope that works out. And also he said that the reason why that wax can be tricky to work with is if you are using a jar like mine, because I legit told him, because I come in and try to get professionals help or whatever, since he's been in this business a lot longer than we have, and he'll legit be like, oh yeah, that jar is going to be difficult to wick, or just in general that wax is difficult to wick, especially when you have to double wick it. That's gonna bring in hopefully not, but more problems. So, and that's what I've been thinking about too, because it's like, do I want to try to double wick this jar? I was thinking I would rather just deal with a single wick, because it's I haven't even gotten this wick series down, and then I'm going for single wicks, and then I'm going to try double wicking. That's just a whole different ball game. So I went from having difficulty with one wick to now dealing with two. So, but yeah, but we're gonna try it out and we're gonna hope it works. But not only does it depend on your wick type, wick series, how many wicks you're using, and it not only depends on your jar size and your jar type, but it also depends on fragrance oil. So not everybody's gonna get the best results, not everybody's gonna get the same results and whatnot. So just because basically I got this to work, like it smells great, for me not to like, obviously it works, it's just that I don't like how much this wick series or this wick type specifically slips and smokes. Like it's just something about that I don't like. So obviously it's a working product. Not only that, but I have a good throwing candle. It's just that the wick slits and smokes a bit. So like not every, and then like the fragrance oils I like, the fragrance oils I use from whatever company, just whatever ones I choose, not everybody knows about the same supply. Not everybody likes the same fragrances. Not everybody tests or starts with the same fragrances. So everybody's results are always going to be different no matter what. But for the most part, whatever you put in this wax should throw because it's paraffin. The only thing that's going to be the tricky part about any type of candle really is the wicking part, because any wax could throw good, but you wouldn't know unless you wick it right. Yeah, so those two ebooks are on my site along with my candles. You have to go under the ebooks tab, and they are $8. So I've been debating the price about that, but I just thought to go ahead and just make them $8. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy those and whatnot. And they have, I think it has 18 pages, and I believe it has around like maybe 11 to 13 chapters. But what they share in common, both ebooks are going to have the basic candle making supplies, the basic candle making information. But what's going to make them different is the wax characteristics, history about the wax, and also the temperatures and things of that nature. So basically, the pour temp, melt temperature, all of that stuff. So basically your basic formula to make that candle is basically what's going to be different per ebook or whatever. So I was trying to decide, do I want to do a candle making ebook by itself and then have just basic information about the basically recipe for the candle wax itself? But I just said, you know what, let me just go ahead and put in the basic candle making information, so that's going to be the same across all ebooks, and then also have the information, which is the bread and butter of the actual wax, its characteristics, which maybe wick it chooses to throw better with, and just wick options that you can choose from in general that you just may prefer, or that it's going to be different across the board because of the fragrance oils, whatever jar type you have, or if you use a wax mixture, who knows, so results are always going to vary, no matter what and whatnot. So I'm just here to give you the basic instructions about how to use the wax, like pour temperature and cooling temperature and just all of that stuff, and also how to troubleshoot in ways as well. So also when I start using the other wax, I'm going to be making an ebook on that one as well, and I hope to be able to add that one into my candle collection itself. But yeah, so I had basically forgot to mention the whole point of why I even mentioned in the first place about the whole Avery thing or whatever, and just people asking where I get things from. So now I'm just gonna tag for the most part, because I have to let them know. Like, most people, and honestly I don't want to tag or tell people about it either until I start getting paid and getting partnerships and stuff like that. It makes sense, but at the same time, if they don't even know you exist and your numbers are kind of low, you have to prove to them that, oh, she, people actually, ask her, she has a bit of engagement, or, she has put people on our products. She has made people discover our products and want to use them and stuff like that. And she's told people about us. It's like, oh, she brought in us, a good amount of sales and stuff like that. So quick note, I also found, it's a little crinkly, but I found this 4-inch diameter template for double wicking off of, I believe, Lone Star, so that's good, or the Flaming Candle, I forgot which one. But yeah, so you can see, let me use another jar, a bit of a thinner bottom, there you go. So as you can see, I will have to wick right there. But the thing that I've learned about why people also find this jar specifically to be harder to wick is the fact that since it tapers in to the top, you know, you can't have it, some people have it a bit too far to where once the flame is in the jar, it starts hitting this, little lip, and then it busts or it gets too hot. So you legit have to, so I don't know if I can exactly use it. I can use it still as a guide, but I will be trying to put them maybe closer. Well, I guess with this one I can kind of see where to be, so I guess this is pretty good, but if anything I'll try to put them a bit closer together, so you know, because of my jar type. And also I will be investing in a double wicking actual physical guide from a supplier that I found that was recommended by Black Time Born as well, and I hope to work with them in the future, and I'm gonna be making a video on it. So basically it's I forgot what it's called. Oh, okay. A double wicking tool, and it also has the wick setters, and they have a whole selection of like wick setters and wick tools for single wick, double wick, cotton wicks, tube wicks, wood wicks, and all of that nature for legit actual sizes and actual jar types from specific companies. So it's not like you have to guess like on Etsy or another place that like, oh, you know, it fits 3 inch or it fits this inch, you know. So it's legit specifically tailored and made for whatever jar from whatever supplier that you use. So that's gonna be interesting when I'm able to invest in that, and I will be making a video on that. As you can see, you know, this is like, y'all already seen this, because this is from the last burn I did, because I didn't trim the wick, but I trimmed it in this video before the burn, and the flame height is actually really good. It doesn't dance too bad, and it actually honestly hasn't been mushrooming bad either, and I've been burning it for a while when my last couple of burns, and it has not been mushrooming like it has in the past when I was testing it, and honestly I just wasn't really trimming because I was trying to see the outcome of non-trimming, and this is what happens when you do not trim, and this is what happens when you do trim. So yeah, that's really honestly why I don't feel comfortable selling them. Is it just because it's not even because it's not because of safety reasons or nothing, like, well, I guess so, only on the fact of I know people, anything performs better when you do what you're supposed to do, but I know most people don't do what they're supposed to do. You see how I have a nice medium flame height, just a nice, you know, flame. It is smoking a bit because that's just what that wax well, that's what that wick does. That's just them. So, but obviously it's doing pretty good. It's doing really good. Smoking alarm is fine. You just have to trim your wicks, and most people don't trim their wicks, so that's the only reason I do not feel comfortable going forward with this combination. Is just because I know people do not trim how they're supposed to trim, and they don't burn it how they're supposed to burn it. And yeah, I just want to make it easier for everyone, you know, using my products, you know. So even, you know, when they say like for beginners or like, you know, dummy proof, foolproof or whatever, that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to find a formula that no matter what, it doesn't do all that smoking or sooting, or it doesn't mushroom bad, even if they burn it for 8 to 10 hours or 12 hours at a time and don't trim their wicks, you know, because I know it's possible. So I'm looking for a wick that has a self-trimming effect, which is why I was trying HTP, but they're so soft to where they lean and they extinguish themselves. So I mean, obviously I guess they don't mushroom, you know, as much, right? But they will lean and extinguish themselves. And Black Tie Born recommends that, because he does it himself. He gives them a little twist. You know, after you pour the wax, he twists them a little bit and then secures them in a wick holder. The thing is with that, I don't want to scale and then, you know, hire someone, or even just myself before I scale making the candles. I don't want to forget to twist. I don't want to twist too tight, twist not enough, twist the wrong way, whatever it can be. I don't want to accidentally forget to not twist it or whatever, because that one false move and that one mistake can lead to a bunch of defected candles, and you won't know which is which. So you just have to take all of them off the shelves. So I don't. That's the main thing I was thinking about. I'm trying to think about the future. So if there's, you know, a new person on the job, or even there's an experienced person on the job, whoever I hire, or even myself, forget to give a little twist, and then they just start extinguishing themselves. So now I just got a whole bunch of defective candles that don't even burn properly because they can't burn, because the wick starts leaning to one side of the jar, or the wick starts dipping into the wax and extinguishing itself. So yeah, but that's the main reason why in my testing videos y'all see that I fail those. The flame profile and I'm looking at my candle, and the melt pool was pretty good. The thing that I did not like was that they just extinguished themselves, and also it's dangerous on the fact of they will lean, and they have the tendency, so if they don't extinguish themselves, they will lean to one side of the jar and get that side hotter, and also just, you know, make the melt pool uneven. So, you know, that was a no in my book as well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and also share, and also push the little notification bell so you can know straight away whenever I post. And also you know, to mention, you know, you can find any links in the description for any software purposes for accounting, and they are free. There are some paid versions of them, but you don't have to get those. I don't have them. There's some software that is free for accounting, which is by Inventora, and there's also I believe I have a referral link for Shippo. But you can also find links in the description for Amazon products and supplies that I use in my business, that I will be using, or that I know that other people could find helpful that I may not even need, but I know other people do for most candle making purposes. So yeah, so you can find those in there. And software, they are referral links. And also the Amazon links are affiliate links. So I do make a small commission off of your purchases, just to remind you, but at no cost to you. It's just I make a few cents off of whatever you purchase. And thank you to those of you, again, who have supported me by clicking the links or just purchasing things off of there or signing up with my links. Thank you so much. That helps brands know that people, you know, need these things, and they find me and other creators and influencers helpful in helping you guys, you know, find their products and use their softwares, because just like they're in need of people to use and buy their things, we are in need, and you guys are in need of those products in the first place, which is, you know, why it benefits everyone. So yeah, thank you for those of you who have supported me throughout, and thank you for the newcomers, the people who have been here for a while. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please go down my channel and watch any other videos that that interest you. I have a few testing videos. I have mentioned a video before in this video about double wick testing with HTP wicks. You can check that out. I've also done testing videos with, I think, single wick HTP wicks. So those are the two before this video, and yeah, I have many more down the line. I even have a few playlists that you will see on the end card that you can check out some other content of mine.